Shalom, Yashwala. It's your brother Dawud coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you, Arkin, pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, Salaka. We continuing on. With this here lesson, clearing up, this new delusion that's going out, pushing forth this new image of Christianity. All right, this new perception of, or this new slander and marking out of the Most High and His Son. All right, where they're being X'd out over here. All right, so nevertheless, in the first portion of this here video, we read these two articles about how they're trying to change the pronouns and the perception. All right, and rewriting these new books that's going out to persuade the leaders, all right, to start switching it up on the people, So, as we see that this new world order system is being built, you're starting to see, things taking place. Like I said, this system isn't going to be implemented in a new world order. It's going to be a variation of this. You're going to be able to worship whatever, or more or less you're going to be worshiping Esau. All right. But as we see, they trying to discredit and change all this just to it's psychological warfare. They're getting people all into this lovey-dovey spirit, to further, further blind and separate Jake from finding out this here truth. Because at the end of the day, this here story only really affect Jake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we talking about out here in Sweden and shit like that amongst Edomites. But we don't give a damn if they know the scriptures. They believe in the scriptures, whatever, whatnot, because it ain't for them. The scriptures say that only Israel gonna be saved. All right, that's who the Lord's people are. So we don't give a fuck if they out there corrupting their own so-called religion and feeding it to their own self and believing some madness. All right, if they got a church full of Edomites and they want to believe that the Most High, is a fucking dolphin, that's on them. And you see what I'm saying? That don't even matter. We don't give a fuck about that. All right, but overall, what this is doing, because we know how our people get down, they follow after Esau, Edom, and whatever they accept, that's the norm. All right, and they so-called power players, TD Jakes and stuff like that, they push on to the masses of our people. All right, and then your so-called local mom and pop's little church around the block that your grandma go to. Who you think they watch? And your grandma don't watch. They watch the TD Jakes and stuff. So they get this stuff passed down. But at the end of it all, this is just a ploy, all right, to keep Jake basically continuously blinded in this madness, all right, not being able to come to the truth. Because once Jake want to hear smooth things, like the scriptures say, prophesy unto us smooth things. Don't tell us the truth, bro. Tell us lies, all right? Because what they want to do is keep creating. They notice that Jake got a spiritual awakening right now, spiritual yearning for truth. All right, coming back to the law, statutes, commandments. That's they starting to wake up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But what Esau want to do is redirect that. Make sure that you come into basically darkness, leave darkness in darkness. They're gonna start being attracted to the Bible. Let us be the one to teach them the Bible. All right, as long as we teach them that who the world only calls Jesus. First of all, you call him Jesus. They can't never really call him that name that they can be saved by. All right. And if they sit over here and keep worshiping this here white image, they'll never understand and relate that that's actually talking about them. They'll keep considering themselves Gentiles. They'll keep polluting themselves and polluting their kids' sanctuaries and stuff like that, or their souls that we'll read it here basically. But you know what I'm saying? They just keep going off. This is the mindset. This is the whole ploy about it. Again, this ain't got shit to do with the Swedish people. You know what I'm saying? Now we got Jake over there, but this ain't got shit to do with the Edomites. All right. This not a ploy for them, but yet, this is who they pushing it on with them first. All right. Cause they know that's the head, you got to get there first, and it's going to be a trickle down effect. By the time it hit Jake, you know what I'm saying? They're going to think they'll have it all switched up at that point in time. They'll be like, well, Jesus actually was a spirit, right? And he can come in a form. If you want to worship him as an elephant, you can do that. So by the time, they take a heavy foothold in Jake communities, that's where we'll be at. But this is further alienating us from the truths of the scriptures, because whenever you come across the truth, all right, and you've been told your whole damn life, just like how we've been told our whole life. That's why it's so hard for us to believe that, so-called God and so-called Jesus, is we think, oh, they all loving, they fair. They love everybody. They not racist. That's why it's so hard for us to believe that, because we've been trained the same dogma our whole damn life. All right. Making our souls abominable, not knowing, because that's what? Going against the Most High's will. When he say he got indignation for Esau, Edom forever, and that we was going to be warring with Amalek forever, or Amalek was going to have war with the Most High forever. All right. And also, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity, things like that. We don't understand those things, and we don't want to hear those things. And it's easily not ever taught to us, and we'll never go look for it or even try to understand those things. Because what? We've been taught by who? Esau, Edom, to understand these things. We would believe if we ever come across Esau, Edom, he was those Arabs or somebody else who was already destroyed way back in those days. All right. But nevertheless, going back into these here scriptures, it's like, here, give me 1 second. Going back into these here scriptures, dealing with, like I said, I brought it out in the article, trying to relate that to, this is in Esau, Edom's, in his heart to do, this is in his character from generation to this is what he do. All right. And now what we doing is going into the scriptures and looking at, exposing some of the lies and the truths, like we're going to get that, over and over, that the Most High and His Son are males. All right. They're men. All right. But also we looking at right now we actually going into the history, and the same as like the scriptures say, our spirits bear witness with the spirit that we're the children of the Most High, and roughly paraphrasing, the spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. All right. Now, if you use that, how do I say, if you understand that principle and you apply that, you understand, well, if the Israelites gonna always be Israelites, and they're gonna always have the same damn spirit as being Israelites, doing the same shit the Israelites do, all right, it's gonna line up to the characteristics that was described about them in the scriptures. That ain't gonna ever change. And also, if the prophets on an individual level, if they spirits come back in the same damn lot, then what do you think about everybody else's? They're gonna do the same damn thing. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna be in one generation a fucking Elamite, all right, and then like a East Indian, all right, one of the little dot-head Indians. You ain't gonna in one carnation be that and then come back and be a fucking Edomite, all right? Because see, you gotta prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their fathers. These are the same damn people. They gotta catch judgment for what the fuck they did. You see what I'm saying? But if you are Elamite and you just so happen to become a damn, if you were an Elamite, or fuck it, we'll say, to make it easier to understand, if you're a Moabite, a so-called Chinese man, in one carnation, now in this last carnation you came back as an Edomite, how you finna be catching the judgment over some shit you didn't do? You see what I'm saying? Or vice versa. What if you was those Edomites, or the Edomites, the Romans that pierced Yahushua, and now you come back in a whole nother, now you a Hamite. You see what I'm saying? Or you, you basically somebody who ain't insignificant of catching that judgment. Not an Edomite, more or less to say. All right, that ain't how the scriptures go down. All right, but nevertheless, this is in Esau, Edom's spirit to continuously do. All right, so this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that they should all be one people. All right, so going back into like in that article we was reading, how they got this little book that you gotta follow by these guidelines that's written in this here book. You see what I'm saying? It's the same ass shit, man. King Antiochus writing to his whole kingdom, all right, that they should all be one people. All right, putting the word out that y'all gotta follow under this new law. All right, it says, and everyone should leave his laws, all right, or their customs. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So all you have all these, let's say for in modern day terms, right? Let's say you got these what you call them people, Islamic people, some Islamics, let's say some Syrians, right? Or some Iranians, right? And the Iranians want to worship Allah, right? And Muhammad, right? They want to be Islamic, Islamic religion, But now all of a sudden, the Americans come over there and force them to be, Christians. All right, it's the same ass shit. But then they just jumping over and converting. So it says, verse 42 again, and everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion, all right, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So it says here again, it says, yea, many of the Israelites consented to his religion. In today's terms, many of the Israelites are consented to Esau Edom's religion by way of what? That 501c3. All right. You got these niggas like TD Jakes and all of them, so on and so forth. All right. All got these 501c3 threes, charters. You know, what was that boy? I think it was TD Jakes was talking about some. Well, you know, God's people are actually the Igbo Indian or Igbo of Igbo descent. You know, and I'm an Igbo. You know, and these are actually the real Hebrews. But yeah, what he's out here telling his people that they. Oh, it ain't about this and that. God ain't about no color. Well, it ain't about color, but you know what I'm saying? For a lack of better terms, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you, you know, color for, or, you know, nationality, more or less to say, you know, but that's contrary to the scriptures, you know, and he's supposed to know that. All right. It says, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Judah, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. 501c3, all right, putting out the new decree, you know, the new law, the new book, the new hand guide, all right. It says, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifices and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbath days and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. All right. I don't want to keep reading, but nevertheless, it's the same thing that you see going on today. All right. That they would sit here and follow these new strange laws and everything like that, and that they would forbid the burnt offerings, the sacrifice and drink offerings, so we don't have our customs no more, you know. So we don't be close to our power no more. It's the same deal. All right. You know, oh, nah, Jesus was you know, don't refer to him as a he. It could be anybody, you know, and transgender people can come in, you know. Homosexuals can be, or homosexuals and trannies, you know, could be pastors, you know. How do I say, forging a new religion, you know. How do I say, they just not discrediting but slandering or you know, they fucking up the old ways, the actual ordinances that was put down. All right. It says and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, and set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, these churches, and sacrifice swan's flesh. Yeah, after church you go get that pork dill, you know, an unclean beast, that they should leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manners of uncleanliness and profanation. And yeah, so let me keep reading. To an end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. All right. We'll just read this one more verse. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So basically, again, you see what I'm saying? They forcing them into this new religion. All right, they creating this whole new religion, this whole new image, covering the faces of the judges. All right, basically they didn't have their own religion, understanding what's going on. They like, you know what, we're gonna hijack, you know, Christianity and supplement this with all our pagan gods. All right, the same shit that they doing today. We're gonna hijack modern day Christianity. All right, instead of giving you Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, we're gonna give you Cesare Borgia or Jesus Christ. Right. And instead of, you know, follow my commandments, do the law, statutes, commandments, you see what I'm saying? We're going to give you, do thou wilt, do whatever you want to go do. You see what I'm saying? To what? To the end that they might forget the laws and change the ordinances. All right? That they might just fuck them all up, you know? And then by what? By the force of the sword, verse 50 again. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. All right? Let me actually jump down. It says, verse 56, and when they had rent in pieces the book of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. And whosoever was found with the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. So, you know, first of all, they had the, like you would in today's terms, new 501c3, as you see in these articles, what they doing. If you don't comply, off with your head. You see what I'm saying? It says they also basically was going through and how do I say ripping up the scriptures and stuff like that, you know, and putting the people to death with all that. Let me see, verse 56. 56 and 7 again. It says, hang on 1 second, slide. Got some goddamn Edomites. We're walking around. It says, um, verse 56 again. It says, when they had rent in pieces the book of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. Talking about the scriptures, ripping them up and burning them all up, so that you wouldn't find out what the truth is. You would be perverted and follow after their new religion that they created. And whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament, or any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. And that's what you have going on today. All right. So how they ripping up the books today? All right, talking about, oh, well, gender don't matter to the Lord or whatever, whatnot. Also, how are they talking about, they ripping up the book, you know what I mean, and putting whoever got the book in their hand, putting them to death. All right, that's what they're gonna start coming to real soon. But first and foremost, when you have the prophets on the highways and the byways, and also on the YouTube stream, telling you the truth, breaking down the truth, things like that. What do they come up and do? They flag our videos and shut our pages down. All right, so this is the same thing. They ripping in pieces the book of the law when they don't necessarily have to go around ripping up Bibles today, all right? Because they find what people have in Bibles because they don't have the real understanding. Everybody got the same book, but they don't have the same understanding, all right? But then you have the teachers that's out there waking these people up and teaching them and showing them the truth. What happens? You have Esau, Edom that'll come and shut down their pages or try to silence them in some kind of way, all right? This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48, still touching on this here conversion, all right, and how we read about the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges. We read about when he took over. Now we're looking at him covering the faces of the judges, which he's doing today again as well. All right, just showing the spirit of this damn Edomite, how ain't nothing changed with him. All right, so first and foremost, we talk about covering the faces of the judges. We just read about how basically, if you ain't up under the 501c3 in our new religion, your ass getting put to death. Anybody reading the scriptures or got the scriptures, they're going to tear them all up, burn them up, and then put your ass to death, all right? Or just like in slavery times, like, if we caught you reading, you're going to get beat. But if we catch you reading the Bible, you're going to get put to death, all right? And just like, again, in these terms, you know what I'm saying, that they got these preachers and these people on TV and shit like that, and these churches telling these people whatever, whatnot, But then when you start coming across the truth, you either demonize or you come into the truth, all kind of crazy shit happen, But it says, verse 48, it says, and laid open the book of the law, talking about the heathen, the Esau Edom, it says, and laid open the book of the law wherein the heathen, Esau Edom, all right, which we was reading in Job 9:24, this is the account of it, has sought to paint the likeness of their images, all right. So, nevertheless, we know Esau Edom was setting up his own images as the Most High's son. All right, you have what? Serapis Christus. You have what's this nigga name? What's his name? David Rothschild. David Rothschild. All right, he looked like a new modern day image of Cesare Borgia. All right, and he's in one of those positions to so-called, be one of those people, I just like using the blue letter a lot better. It's easier for me to, navigate through it than the other app. All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 25. It says, just talking about what's his name? Shadrach, Meshach, and my joke is Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro. All right, Abednego. But nevertheless, it says, he answered and said, lo, I see, they was cast into the oven, the furnace, It says, he answered and said, lo, I see 4 men, all right, 4 males or men loose, all right, because they was bound up into this basically like a big ass oven. They was thrown into there being burned alive. All right, he says, he answered and said, "Lo, I see 4 men loosed walking in the midst of the fire, and they and they and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of Man, the Son of God." All right, so here you have quite a bit. It says, "I see 4 men loosed and walking." So he see 4 different men, males. Like we was reading that, the powers created, the powers under Yahushua created, man in their own image. So what he saw was a figure and a visual of a male, another man. And then he also said the last one, the fourth person, had the form of the Son of Man, or the Son of the Most High. All right. So giving a description, and we know that was Yahushua. All right, that was inside that furnace with him. All right. So clearing that up as far as what's the gender of so-called Jesus, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is the book of Matthew chapter 11 and 27. Actually, let me see if I can get this. I was actually, I think, in the book of Luke where it says that same account though. But it says Matthew 11 and I'll read 26 for further edification. It says, "Even so, Father," not mother, but it says Father. All right, "for it seemed good in thy sight." Verse 27. "All things are delivered unto me." All right. Now we have in this conversation both Yahushua and who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahushua, and who the world ignorantly calls God, the Most High. Yahweh. All right. You basically having, not to say a conversation between the two, but like the visual that you're gonna see is talking about just these two, right? Now look at the words that's being chosen and used. That was right here. So talking about the Son not knowing the Father, which he claimed he know the Father more than anybody else. All right, and the Son, like the Father know about him. He prophesied about him. That's his Son. All right. It says, "All things are delivered unto me of my Father." All right. So the word he used there was a masculine term. All right, his father, not his mother. "And no man knoweth the Son," not the daughter. All right, another male figure. "And no man knoweth the Son, but the Father." Okay, that male figure. "Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he whomsoever the Son will reveal unto him." So basically, here you got the back and forth going between the Most High and Yahushua. All right, but all the words describing it to are all what? Male words. All right. This is Matthew chapter 17, verse 5. It says, "While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him." So this is the Most High speaking, basically at the crucifixion of Yahushua. All right, when he finally crossed over, and there was that earthquake and things like that. But nevertheless, the Most High was talking about some, look, this is my beloved what? Son, not daughter. Clarifying that this is talking about another male. All right. They got, they do have genders. All right. They do have genders, and it is important. All right. For prophecy's sake, because how are we going to know, what I'm saying? You're telling us you have a son and he shall save his people. And then we just all over here looking in a group of women. This is Revelation 1 and 13. It says, "In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man." All right, so not the daughter of man, but the Son of Man. What is son letting you know that this is definitely a male and not a female? "Clothed with the garment down to the foot, and girt about with the paps with a golden girdle." All right, that's basically like a big WWF or Bill Goldberg belt, wrapped around your green garment, It says his head, all right, and his hairs, all right, talking about males, not females, not her hair and her head, but his head and his hairs were white like wool, white as snow, and his eyes were as the flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. All right. And he had in his hand, his right hand, 7 stars, and out of the mouth went a two-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shining in the strength. So all these words here to describe Yahushua always denounce to what? A male figure. All right. There's no getting around it. I mean, you can try to pacify all your laws that you want, but there's no getting around that. It's he. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9. I was looking for... Might be in 10. But nevertheless, let me see. I wanted to read something else in here too. It says, Daniel chapter 7, verse... Well, I'll get to 13. I'll get to... Let me just read my regular precept. This is, Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. All right, now what is that? The thrones was cast down. It's talking about Yahushua, right? When it's a time frame. It's letting you know when this is going to happen. Well, when Yahushua says he's going to come back and reign over the kings of the earth and take their crowns off their head, that's what it's talking about. So it says, I beheld till the thrones, all right, or these different rulerships and these powers were cast down. And, to their time frame it came up. It says, and the Ancient of Days did sit where? In the rulership over the whole earth, being in rulership, not being in the state where we are now, where the God of this earth has blinded them. All right. But it says, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like the pure wool, and his throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels is a burning fire. So all these words to describe the Most High here is talking about a male person, his, all right. And then also cutting the fact of the matter that, talking about, the Most High is not like male or female. He ain't got no gender. Well, it says, I beheld till the thrones was cast down and the Ancient of Days did sit. So, first of all, you know what I'm saying? We talking about the Most High here. But it says the Ancient of Days, he did sit. What sit on what? What is sitting got to do if you ain't got no, basically a body? You know what I'm saying? And it says, whose garment was white as snow. What does he got this garment over? A ball of a spirit? He wearing clothes and he a ball of a spirit, Nah. And it says, and the hairs of his head was like the pure wool. Was he like a ball of a light? You know what I'm saying? Walking around, with a head on top of it, Oh, it's 13. It says, I saw the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man. Hold on, let me go back. That the other description we were just reading, all right, verse 9, all right, matches up clearly with Revelation chapter 1, all right, talking about Yahushua and his image. With his head and his hairs was white like wool, white like snow. All right, that's the same thing talking about the Most High Yahweh. All right, so if Yahushua resemble the Most High Yahweh, they both males. Come on, man, it's not that hard to understand. It says I saw in a night vision one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near to him. So, it says the Son of Man, not the daughter of man. But then at this point in time, Yahushua is coming up to the Most High. It says they prepared him and brought him in to him. So you got two different males here. All right. think that might have been so okay, 1 second. Well, I'll read 13 and 14. It says, and I saw in a night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and they came and brought and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near to him, and there was given him dominion and glory, and the kingdom and all the people, nations, languages should serve him, and his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and the kingdom which shall not be destroyed. So I'm talking about when the Ancient of Days I beheld to the thrones was cast down. I think I was up at the top. Yeah. So that's basically, you know what I'm saying, when the Lord come back to take these crowns up off of their heads, you know? Let me get this in 10, and this is Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5. Then lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed with linen, whose loins was girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. His body was like the beryl, and his face was the appearance of lightning, his eyes as a lamp of fire, and his arms and feet like unto color unto polished brass, and the voice of his words like the multitude, like of a multitude. All right. So, very, very early off, you know what I'm saying, when I first read this, you know what I'm saying, I was like, wait a minute, they're describing this individual, who is, what they talking about is Yahweh Shah. All right. But, they're talking about his body. It says, verse 6, his body was also like the beryl, talking about a green color. All right. It's not talking about that he was green in color. All right. That's talking about his garment, like the image that you normally see us with the sign where he has that big golden belt on and the green garment. All right. That's what basically that's a depiction of this. All right. But they said his feet and his arms was like into color of fine brass. Same thing that John saw. All right. Now we know if your feet and your arms are the same color, all right, then your chest and your head is going to be the same color. All right. Ain't nobody got different color feet and hands and legs than, unless you got like what they call like vitiligo or some shit. But, all these words here, like I said, are describing, and we going in the Old Testament looking at images of Yahweh Shah in the Old Testament, which is the same images we see in the New Testament and in the Most High as well. And all the verbiage that's talked about, the words that's used to be talked about describing them is what? It's all talking about males, all right? Let me grab 3 more. We're going to close out. Because all these words, when you reading all of this, all right, it's it's all in favor of this being a male bias, more or less to say. It says Ezekiel, Exodus 15 and 3. It says Yahweh is a what? A man of war. Yahweh is his name. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's take out, here they have the word Lord, but let's take out the Most High's name and all that away from the sentence. What are we left with? If we had to try to figure out what the statement was talking about, it says, and blank is a man of war, and blank is his name. All right. So if we got to be, investigative people when we're trying to figure out who this is talking about, all right, we can eliminate that this ain't talking about no women. All right. By the sheer fact of, it says, and blank is a man of war, and blank is his name. So we know by, man, the word man and his, that we can eliminate all women. All right. So, and now we actually speaking about the Most High right now. All right. So we understand clear as day throughout these scriptures that the Most High and his son are both males. All right. Getting back onto I'm gonna read this. I was gonna say I'm kind of crunched for time, but I mean, we got one more precept and we're going to close out. This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 3. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. All right. So it's talking about his servants going to serve him. This is talking about when the kingdom of heaven is being established. All right. When we were just reading, the thrones of heaven was cast. I beheld to the thrones of heaven was cast down, and they shall see his face, and they, the elect shall see whose face? His face. So investigative journalists again. If we don't know who, we can eliminate this. Ain't talking about no women. All right. It says, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. All right. And what is his name? His name is Yahweh. All right. Now, what does that mean in English? It means he is, or he exists, not she, but he. All right. What does Yahushua mean? He delivers. All right. So not she. All right. So if we're looking for a mailman or somebody that's bringing us a package, is it the mailman or the mail lady we should be expecting? Well, it says the mail lady, she will be right with you with your package. All right. Now I'm looking down the street. I see a bunch of men. I know ain't none of them got my package. All right. It says, reading that again, it says, and there should be no more curse, but the thrones of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and he shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads, and there shall be no night there. It says, and there shall be no night there, and they shall need no candle, neither light of the sun, for Yahweh power giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. So all these things that we read, even though some of these words are very minor words, him, his, all these words are faithful and true. All right, according to prophecy. That's why I said it's important to know what his gender is according to prophecy, because they talking about he, him, his. He shall lead his people. This is his name. And if we over here looking at women, we know we in the wrong direction. All right. It says, and he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true, and Yahweh power of the holy prophets sent his angels to show his servants the things which must be done. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecies of this book. So that's why I say it's important for these genders to be worked out, because we got to be able to see and understand these here prophecies. A lot of this stuff is based on gender. That ain't the big deal, but well, really it is. Those are like first steps. They so big that we just overlook them. All right. If we over here looking for the son of the Most High, you know what I'm saying? We don't even think, like, somebody shows us a picture of a woman, like, yo, this is our savior. Like, that's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's a female, but how can that be our savior when we know we looking for the son of God, not the daughter? You see what I'm saying? So, let me close out with this one. This Revelation chapter 21:3, it says, I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. All right. It says, and he will dwell. And who is the he? All right. This is a male. Again, you being, trying to figure out who is who. He, obviously, we know we should be looking for a male. All right. But it's talking about the Most High. And he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And the power himself shall be with them and be their power. All right. So, again, expressing these are males. It says, yeah, I'm gonna close out with this. It says, for the Most High shall wipe away all their tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne, all right, so he that sat upon the throne, if we see a woman sitting on the throne, we know that ain't it. Like if we're looking for King David to be sitting on the throne, we know that Queen Elizabeth ain't it. We know that's just going off based off of what alone. What one factor alone let us know that ain't King David sitting over there on the throne. Well, King David was a male. Queen Elizabeth is a female. We don't even need to go into if she is Israelite or not. Even if she was an Israelite, we know that ain't right. But it says, and he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new, because this world is turned upside down. The Most High said, turn of your things upside down, But it says, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I will give unto him that is athirst the fountain of water of life freely. All right. And so, you know what I'm saying? Damn. Let me just continue on real quick. It says, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone. This is the second death. You're going to wind up getting burnt off in these these missiles. But the point I wanted to get at, it says right for these words are true and faithful. All right, and what? That's the testimony of Yahweh Shah. All right, going into prophecy. All these things is talking about prophecy. All right, the image and all these different things, dispelling the lies. All right, we going into all those things. These words are true and faithful. This is the truth of the scriptures. You know, they talking about God loves everybody and God's doing this, and that. But what we coming out with is what the scripture says true and faithful. They ain't gonna the fold. They're not gonna fold. All right. But then they're talking about the ones that don't believe. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna what? Wind up being destroyed. So you can go ahead and believe that the Most High is whatever you want it to believe, but that's only to your own destruction. You know, we telling the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, to come back into the law, such commandments, the way the scriptures was written. You know, as thus saith the scriptures. You know, and we the Lord's prophets bring this here out to you. You know. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth, and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push in this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Stay strong. Shalom.